Hello, good evening, y'all. It's High Priestess Jamila. How are y'all? So, first of all, I'm not real sure as far as like what my flash sale is going to be for the evening right now, since I haven't updated it because, like I already announced, I am doing flash sales at least to the end of this month. And the reason why we're doing that is so the readings will be affordable and to save y'all money. Okay. But so what I'm gonna do, since I've been asleep and just woke up about an hour ago, then we can just pretty much go by the last special or sale that I did, which was $30 for 30 minutes and $60 for 60. Okay. So even though that particular flash sale ended until I announce another one, that's gonna be the price. I want to talk to y'all about first of all, money unblockers. And a lot of you guys that are having a hard time finding a job, it has nothing to do with the economy. It doesn't even have anything to do with you having good or bad luck, which having bad luck is not good. Okay, obviously. It has a lot to do with you being blocked. And you're being blocked for a lot of different reasons. There's an encouragement for some reason these days for people to do just one thing. And what a lot of empaths, and I don't know why, because this is not coming from spirit, this is coming from being stuck in a place. When people give so called spiritual advice, and then they get stuck. And I think that the encouragement is for people to try to feed off of other people's pain. My spirits, who are very intelligent, who have been working and busting their asses for me, especially the past month and a half, disagree. And trust me, they know what they're talking about. Okay? They know exactly what they're talking about. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Spirit can only go so far, even Santa Muerta. Santa Muerta, and I'm going to say this and then we're going to move on. She cannot just keep you living in a rental house forever if the landlord wants to move on or sell the property. You just have to eventually find something else. Okay, that's not what that they can't do that because they have to abide by certain rules. Okay, so let's move past that. Okay, but what they can do is they can, if you do have issues, they can get you to the point where you can either purchase a property, and yes, they will allow doors to open for you to get another rental property if you have less than perfect credit or even an eviction. Yes, they can. Okay, and they'll do it quick too. But what I wanted to talk about is these blockbusters that y'all need. And there's a lot that goes along with it. It's a ritual that has to be done to remove money blocks. Okay. Most of these money blocks are being caused by emotional crud. And in fact, that is a way because for some reason, there's just these personality types out there. We call them haters, crabs in a barrel. It's just that and I don't know why specifically there's people out there that just want to block your blessings. Very often, the way that they are doing it is by going through the heart chakra and your emotions. Okay. One big symptom of it is not being able to process whatever pain that you've been through. That's a huge symptom, thinking that you can't release it and let it go. In fact, I've seen abusive people, and I've heard about people that were abused as children. And if and while they were being abused, the abuser disallowed them from crying and letting it out. And that is because that particular entity, or whatever that causes child abuse, knows that when you cry, you're healing. That's a part of the healing process. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I'm a Cancer. Can't nobody tell me about healing. Most Cancers were born under Bur, who is the demon of healing. Most of us, that's his time frame, around June, July. So we know what we're talking about. And a lot of times there can be rituals that can be done to cause you to either deny or either feel like your emotions are your weakness, and they're not. Being able to release and process emotions is actually a strength. It does not make you weak. It doesn't. So there's a lot of people that don't know what they're talking about. And this is the reason why folks be running around here passing out, chest pains, having to go to the hospital, having to be on medications and stuff. And that's the furthest that I'm going to go with that discussion. Because a lot of these people that are going around advertising healing blatantly, their channels can get flagged because they don't play that on YouTube. Okay. I ain't going to be the one to flag you, but your channel can be flagged if you're openly speaking about healing. Okay. So, that's why we don't discuss it, and we have to be very careful even when doing readings. This is why a lot of naturopath doctors, a lot of naturopath, it's very, very frowned upon. Natural healing is very frowned upon within the mainstream and within the government. And so we can't really discuss that because and they have their own reasons, which I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying that they're bad people. I'm just saying it just is what it is. Okay. But emotional healing, that primarily, when you need to be healed emotionally, you're going to go through a therapist for that. And I have spoken with therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists who have said there's some people that I can't help. I feel that these people need spiritual help. This is the reason why I think that us occultists and spiritualists can work closely with psychiatrists to actually help people, because there's a lot of people, the mental is actually creating the emotional, which is causing a lot of problems. Okay. So anyway, let's move on. A lot of y'all need those blockbuster rituals because it's been blocked. Okay. So a lot of people think of road openers, and road openers are good. It's the same thing. Blockbuster, road opener, sort of the same thing. Okay. And we all know that we see the standard rituals with a key. And yes, I do use skeleton keys and things of that nature, especially when I'm doing my mojo and my grist bags. But I'm doing my rituals in a certain way that is very, very native to the ancestors, to my ancestors and the spirits that I work with. Okay. So these days, my rituals, to me, they don't just include a single flame. They never have. Um, there are some rituals where I have to use 10 candles But, I was in a position where I couldn't burn those 10 candles. I wouldn't burn 10 candles in one room anyway. Not a room that I was occupying. That would have to be in a sacred space. Um, but there, look, when you think about all of the bad in this world, it's very difficult to find a sacred space. You have to make that space sacred, and the sacredity of the place comes from the practitioner. And if the practitioner is not sacred and the practitioner is something wrong with them, then they can't bless or purify nothing. Especially if they out here attacking children, or attacking children of witches and things of that nature. I have warned y'all about people like that. Please be careful with people like that. They're filthy. They're filled with filth. And they can't help nobody, not even theyself, because they lost. Okay? But the blockbuster rituals, most of the time people think, oh, I'm going to light a candle. And no, what is blocking you is not energy, it's spirits. It's spirits of people. In fact, the last 3 cases that I've worked this week, it was ancestral spirits of client enemies, very malevolent, inconsolable spirits. I don't work with ancestrals. My ancestors are not malevolent. But there's some people, your enemies, they work with their very evil, malevolent ancestors just to mess with people based upon their own emotional crud. And so I can't even count how many bad ancestors I've had to trap, but they needed to be trapped and they ain't gonna be seen nowhere no more. Because I work with spirits that will destroy these malevolent energies. They will put them somewhere where they can never be found again and just destroyed, because a lot of them do need to be destroyed. Okay. And if they caught, they will be destroyed. So that's mainly and primarily what you guys are dealing with. And this is the reason why you can't just go somewhere and pay $50 to have that removed, because there's more than just energy work. And people don't realize that. And by the time you're done, because you want to pay for something cheap, but by the time you're done paying for cheap work and you actually go and get the real work done, things have gotten so much worse because you waste so much time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to discount other people, at least people that work with elemental magic, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. But these spirits are getting more up close and personal because they want to be venerated. They are of the earth. They are a part of this and they want to be recognized and venerated. Okay. They are no longer hidden either. So my blockbuster rituals, we did set a special price for them. They were 666. $666 is the regular price of my blockbuster rituals. We went ahead and set the price down to 444, which on the website you'll see 400, but it's actually 444. Okay, which is a discount because Spirit knows that y'all have been getting bullshitty work that ain't really working, and then you're being mind tricked into thinking I'm gonna come after you if you complain. And that's sick. Now, I will say that there are cases where us practitioners absolutely need to protect ourselves. So I'm not saying that there's no cases where you may have a client that goes rogue, Clients can become confused. They'll go to rival witches. These witches are so desperate that they're willing to say anything, even though it's not being confirmed, it's not the truth. Whatever it is they need to do to get the money, that's what makes all money not good money. And then the next thing you know, you have a confused client that is that's attacking you. So I totally understand, but to say, oh, I'm going to threaten your family, I'm going to swat your house, and I have your address, and I'm going to get you, that that spirit ain't getting down with people like that. Okay? And really, to be honest with you, their standards is for the situation to be worked out within a few hours, not days and days and days and years and years and years. Get up out of here. They not standing behind that. These people that want to beef for years and years and years, people that are avoiding themselves, people that are avoiding facing their own music. Then there's also the concern of reality stealing, destiny stealing, which is kind of the same thing as energy harvesting, but it's kind of different. But then again, there's soul swapping out there that a lot of you guys have to look out for. And unfortunately, this particular activity increases, the results of it increase between the months of September and October, because some confused person in January decided, I don't want to be me anymore. I want to be somebody else, which spirit uh, does not like that at all. But unfortunately, there's still practitioners out there that will do that. And I don't do that. If you come to me and say, Jamila, I don't like me, I want to be someone else, I'm going to lift you up rather than tell you, girl, yeah, let's do this ritual. Let's switch it. Let's switch realities with this person to where, you're the very abundant one, and they just screwed in the game. No, I would never do that. What I would rather do is find the hidden treasures that have been hidden by enchantments that belong to you. Trust me, because eventually spirit is going to find out, and that person is going to be screwed. Codependency is never a good thing. Find yourself, find your north, and keep it moving. So I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. And unfortunately, there are certain rituals that can be done. I don't believe that they work completely or work out completely for the person. It takes a lot of work for them to do it, and it would take less work for them to just connect with their own power. So I don't encourage that. I don't. And then as far as this so-called healing energy, it's no such thing as healing energy. It's just healing. That's it. It's just healing. Healing of the body, healing of the mind, healing of the soul. We do things authentically. Trying to steal healing energy from places and people, all it does is mask it, because you can't pour, just because you pour syrup on shit, don't make it pancakes. That's not the way that it works. And I work with top notch healing spirits, not just Buer, but Buer was born, when I was born, he was within my soul. Buer, if you want to look him up, you can. He's the demon of healing. Very powerful healing demon. One of the ones that the church talks about a lot, but they don't really call him by name. Okay. So I know exactly what I'm talking about here. And he is amazing. He is. So if you were born, or if you, especially if you're a Cancer zodiac sign, and you were born under his particular spirit, it's a good idea to develop a relationship with him. But, they'll tell you, oh, that's a demon. No, they're fallen angels. They're angels. They're still angels regardless if they fail. We're on earth, not in heaven. We're on earth. Okay. So it's kind of difficult to get people to understand that. But, I do pretty good when it comes to my clients and their intelligence level when it comes to stuff like this. Okay. Um, let's talk about sacrifice and death. Here's the thing. We don't make the rules. We didn't make the rules. So the money system was created for a reason. We live within it. A lot of us flourish in that money system. Okay. As far as having to use your energy to manifest money. And it's perfectly fine for most of us, but it is what it is, right? So basically, when it comes to sacrifice and death, people that oppose, or they are adversarial towards your money goals. If somebody out there is hating on you, being a crab in a barrel and being a hater for at least the past decade has been very dangerous. Because if you are hating on somebody else's prosperity, you are in abundance. And you're not hating on it for your real protection. You're being petty. You're being jealous. You're being controlling. You stand there as a sacrifice. Why? Because somebody's money stands between their life and their death. A person living a certain lifestyle or living in certain conditions or dealing with certain situations for a prolonged period of time can take their life force, and maybe even years and years and years off of their life. So the way your ancestors and the way the spirits that love you see it is that people that oppose your prosperity are very, very dangerous. And depending on how obsessive they are about stopping your money, depends on how much danger they are in. Okay. No, it is not written anywhere. If somebody is exploiting somebody, they listen, there is a way of earning money without exploiting someone. People that just, like, for example, what I go through, people that say, hey, I'm gonna take your picture and talk about you and make a few dollars. My spirits oppose that. I oppose that. I oppose that. Okay, there's another spirit that I'm not going to mention because he's going to be working on that for me. Not going to mention it. You can't you can't just blatantly try to sacrifice somebody else to make a few dollars. People's spirits will destroy you. As well as these celebrities, that it's not open season necessarily on celebrities too. That's why I don't do that. Okay. And then if you go poking your nose in other people's business, you got to be prepared for it. You can't transfer all that bad karma and negativity to somebody else, because there's a lot of people that are doing that. I work for common folk, and yeah, I will do work for celebrities. I don't mind doing that, but my spirit don't care. My spirits don't care who you are. You're just a common folk. You had to be birthed into this world just like everybody else. So they just see you as human. This is the reason why I don't charge celebrities more. They get charged the same amount. Okay. But in which, by the way, my prices are all going to go up again. I'm getting ready to have an increase in my prices. Okay. coming up here because I can't stay stuck where I've been the past couple of years. Okay. And like I was saying, the government economy, the economy is separate from your money. Quit mixing it together, right? But that's going to take years and years and years for us to overcome because there's free money floating around everywhere. Okay. But a lot of people get stuck on the government and the economy. Okay. A majority of people get stuck on that. The last 4 years has been rough and tough on a lot of people. And yeah, it would have been nice if the government would have given us some stimulus checks and stuff, but unfortunately they didn't. And what are you going to do? Okay. So right off the bat, they're telling you that. Okay. And when they be campaigning, they like, this is my money. This ain't y'all money. This is my money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get into that. I'm not. And I do hope that they get Trump into office so that he can help people. Okay. And then I think one of the things that was going on was that the real estate market got affected. And so, because most people don't want to need more government. Like, when did we start doing that? Like, if you're smart, you don't want the government in control of you. Like, and the government can't say, oh, Jamila, you're wrong for saying that. No, no, they know I'm right. And what are they going to do? They can't, you know what I'm saying? And they complain all the time about how codependent people are. So, there's nothing wrong with me saying that. And so that was a bad thing to do to pretty much, I don't know what people was tripping off of. It was a bad thing. These corporations was trying to own all of the land and the houses, but it wasn't right for them to do that. So I feel that Trump is going to bring back the land of the free and allow more people to purchase homes now because the corporations were doing it. Go look it up. And the corporation that I was dealing with could barely even afford the taxes, came and billed me for the taxes for the house. That's so funny to me. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what they did. And I'm not lying. And I showed proof of that. So none of it worked out. It didn't. It's just not going to work out. Okay. For them to do that. The company that owned that house that I lived in, they owned it, and they were one of those companies that attempted to do that to the American people, and they could barely even afford the taxes every year on the house. Made me pay some of the tax bill. I'm like, really? Really? So, yeah, no. Anyway, getting back to what I was talking about, the select few of you that are going to be clients to me, the blockbuster rituals, they work fast, um and you don't have to worry about all that other stuff. Now, another thing I want to talk to you guys about, people love to claim that they are an empath, but empaths have a certain MO. Being an empath can sometimes be an extremely rare but powerful spiritual gift. And most people that are walking around here claiming to be empaths are not empaths. They're parasites. There is a difference between a parasite and an empath. They're not the same. It's not. And I'm tired of people doing that. So, what you have to do is, these people, People and entities, not just the people, but their spirits. Empaths have to have strength and protection. Your empathism should not be wide open for your enemies because they're going to play up on your empathy. Blocking your empathism from a person or people or entity that is going to do great harm to you is the way to go, because that's exactly how they do it. They trick you, they fool you into thinking that they give a damn about you, and in reality they don't, because they start making certain moves towards you and attacking you. Okay. And people that are desperate, that don't know how to sit back and go, you know what, what does spirit have to say? People are not listening to spirit. People are listening to other stuff. People are listening to parasitic energy, right? They're listening to parasitic things. You have got to understand. So my empathy blocking, it's not going to block you as an empath. You'll still be an empath. But your enemies and adversaries will not have access to that particular gift. Because empathism, just like psychism, which it goes hand in hand. But if you're an empath, it's really very deep. It's very deep, deeper than what people understand. Deep as the ocean to understand empathism. People that mean you harm should never have access to your empathism, ever. This is how they're able to do the soul swapping, is through your empathism. This is how they're able to do the energy harvesting. This is how they're able to do things to you. Okay? So if I'd have known this years ago, that would have been the first thing that I did, was blocked my empathy from people that mean you harm. You're not blocking your empathism. Okay? You're blocking people from being able to exploit you as an empath. Because, they will try to do that. Why, I don't know. It's so much easier for them to do it the nice way. But people are cray cray. Okay, we don't understand why. We just do what we do about it. So that's another ritual that's up on the website. You'll still be an empath for yourself, or people that, just maybe random people that's meant for you to say hello to, or have a nice, kind conversation with, you know. But people that mean you harm, no, no, they don't need your empathy at all, at all. Okay. In fact, you should give zero fucks about people like that. And like I said, when a person does not give a damn about you, you should have, don't give a damn about them. And that's how you can tell something is wrong, because even as an empath, why is it working in reverse? Why are you connecting with people that have so much hatred and visceral for you, but yet you care about them? You're an empath. Just the mere fact that those people were able to get next to you means that something ain't right, because your first thought process should have been danger. Okay, it should have been no, can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about your relationships and stuff. You know, when it comes to your love relationships, um, sometimes you just have to go through what you go through. You know, if a person is dangerous to you to where they're going to end your life, then yeah, a practitioner should be able to see that and say, nah, this person dangerous. They can either end up getting you killed or kill you. But we don't even believe in that either, because we have demonic, satanic protection from death for you and your family. So we ain't even worrying about that. We don't worry about that. Somebody plotting and planning on killing you, they is never gonna happen to you. It's gonna happen to them. Is that a sacrifice? No, it's called protection. Okay. And you can have what's called survivor's guilt. I guess I'm not gonna be guilty about surviving somebody that tried to murder me. That's when you know that your empathism, somebody is in control of that. You should be in control of your spiritual gifts, nobody else. Okay, not even me. When you take control of your spiritual gifts, then you realize that that's when you're at the point of enlightenment, and all of that other cockamamie crap is not necessary anymore. All that pettiness, all that arguing and stuff, that hoopla. Okay, so and that's a part of gaining control of your gifts. I think a lot of y'all that watch me probably like the show Charm. Y'all remember Phoebe was an empath. I'm gonna go back and look in their episodes to see if there was any adversaries that was trying to play on Phoebe's empathy. Think of it like that. Imagine if somebody knew you were an empath, and they decided that they were going to go in through that gift, and they were going to use that gift to turn it back on you to destroy you. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that may have been what happened to Paige's father. You know, people can take empaths and drive them insane. And that's the one thing I don't like to see. The destruction of the empaths, turning people completely to apathy. And that's not good either. So, and with so many things out there, like I saw somebody that was advertising chakra removal, or removing that particular chakra. No, that's not. No, don't do that. That's a lazy way of doing things. You don't want to ever not be an empath. Being an empath is amazing. You don't ever want to not be an empath. No, it's an amazing thing. But when that gift starts to hurt you, that's just like if you're a telepath and you can hear things, but then somebody plays upon that, and the next thing you know, you're picking up on too many spiritual messages because somebody's sitting there trying to speak to you and call to you and put ideas in your head. So this is when you have to say, okay, well, as a telepath, whoever means to use my gifts to do me harm is blocked off of my gifts. But it's not just about blocking them, because you don't have to hear or see them. It's about applying the spirit, the warding them off. And a lot of that is going to come from spirit. A lot of these herbs and stuff, they really don't have, they have power on their own because they are a part of earth, and they are a part of nature, and they do have medicinal properties to them. But when it comes to warding and doing spiritual work, there has to be a spirit behind it. And the way that you get to that spirit, this is the reason why we make essential oils, which, by the way, pretty soon I already got in my wish list my essential oil maker, because I'm going to be making custom essential oil blends for my cases, and I cannot wait, y'all. It's going to be on and popping. But the oil of that particular plant is the fire. It's the oil. It's the fire energy. And so many of these spirits that we are told to stay away from are connected to that particular plant. So that's why it's a pretty much a good idea to know what you're doing when you're doing these spiritual workings. Okay. So, for example, Baal or Beelzebub is connected to Malayan leaf and many other plants that are very medicinal and very powerful. And some of y'all are like, well, I don't want to be dealing with that. I'm scared of that. And that's what the practitioners are here for. Because they just want to help humanity in any way that they can. And then there's some people that are afraid of them. I, for one, am not. Okay. If you say, hey, I'm going to take this Malayan leaf, and it doesn't mean, because a lot of people say, well, I'm a witch and the power is within me. Yes, the power is within you, but there's also that connection that you have with them. They are within you. A witch is made up of many, many, many different spirits. Okay. So, they are within you, and it's almost like, let me see how I can articulate this and explain this. So, you can take that particular herb or oil, but if the spirit is not behind it, it ain't gonna do you no good unless you're using it for medicinal purposes. And even sometimes then you're gonna be missing the enchantment of that particular thing. And that includes crystals as well as the elements that we're working with. Okay. And y'all got to watch out for people out there going, ooh, them tarot cards, and I don't need the cards. And I'm sorry, those people don't realize the tarot is pretty much a Bible. It's pretty much, the numbers, the images, the major arcana, the meaning, the energy behind it is a lot more complex and deep and powerful than what people realize. I throw the cards for myself every single day these days, especially right now. And they reveal so much to me because now I'm looking deeper because I have advanced in my craft. So, you know, anyway, get at me about the blockbuster rituals. I will be announcing my next flash sale. And yes, I'm going to be flashing, flash, flash, flash. Okay. Yes, I am. Like Buzz Lightyear. I'm going to be flashing all day and night for weeks to come. Okay. And I have my own reasons, personal and business reasons for doing that. Okay. And it works for me and it works for y'all because you get a discounted reading. There's nothing wrong with us giving discounts, especially being what is going on. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, it's money, 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 money. Like, oh, please. You don't even want to go see nobody like that. I'll do a fucking free reading for people too, which I am gonna do some free readings. Hold on. Okay, I'm back, y'all. So, that's just what that is. Okay. So, and some of my clients, they do get free readings. I give free readings out all the time. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that big of a deal. I'll be announcing the next flash sale, and you guys can either cash at me, and this time I'll take the time to put it up on the website too. The reason why we love Cash App though is because Cash App doesn't charge any fees. PayPal does, which I don't mind. It's only 2.26% or something like that. So I don't really mind that, but y'all can get at me and then I will talk to you guys later. Okay. All right. I got to go. Okay. Blessings to y'all. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will catch y'all later. Okay. All right. Bye bye.